some properties are selling the moment they hit the market, and others are taking months to sell and end up expiring. And here's the thing, they might actually be in the same neighborhood at the same price. So what's going on here? Now, I've walked through thousands of properties in my career, and I see the same things over and over again. Now, buyers might not tell you directly, but there are layout issues out there that can force price reductions, make your home more difficult to sell, and even force you to terminate or expire your listing and change your selling plans. And in this video, I'll go over the most common layout mistakes and issues that I come across. Let's get right into it. All right, so let's start here. And this video is meant to be more of a bullet point video, and I'll break it down into different sections to make it easier. And first up would be bedrooms. Now, if you're trying to sell a property in a family-friendly neighborhood, you only have 2 bedrooms in like a bungalow or a 2-story property, that can be a bit of a challenge. I find most buyers want to have at least 3 bedrooms above grade, especially in family neighborhoods. And if you only have 2, just a bit of a grind. It can be a bit of a grind. Long days on the market, lots of showings, but not as many offers. It just can be a bit challenging with only 2 bedrooms. I would also say that having awkward bedroom kind of layouts or locations can be a bit of a challenge. I've got a listing right now, just a 2-bedroom single family property, and the bedrooms are right next to each other, but they face each other at a weird angle. And all of the feedback with this listing is that they don't like how the bedrooms are positioned. So again, having only 2 bedrooms is a challenge, but it also makes it more difficult if they're in kind of a poor position throughout the home. And for condos, I get bedroom complaints all the time when I'm showing properties. It's very common I'll get, oh, this bedroom won't fit a king-size bed. I think that ship has sailed. All these new condo projects, they all have super tiny bedrooms, and a king bed is not going to fit into most of them, depending on the price range, but it's just very routine where I'm showing properties and the bedroom could hardly fit a queen size bed, let alone a king size. And this is a personal gripe of mine when I'm showing properties. I think it's from like the 1980s and 90s. You'll go into a bedroom and there's no light fixture. You have to basically buy a lamp and plug it into an outlet, and you can control it that way. But it's not overhead, and I just despise this, but it's actually quite common in Calgary, and I think maybe the builders were just being cheap and they didn't want to install light fixtures in the bedrooms. And you can also find this in living rooms too, in older properties, so I just find it kind of bizarre. And next up are bathrooms. And the first point here, I find it's quite routine. I'm showing like an older bungalow in a mature neighborhood. Has 3 bedrooms on the main level, but only 1 bathroom for the entire property. I find this can be a bit challenging. Not a deal breaker. I would still buy a bungalow and renovate it. But I find buyers want to have at least an ensuite and another main full bath. And just having 1 bath for the entire main level can be a bit challenging. And I find also that these older bungalows, they can have like a half bath for an ensuite, so just a toilet and a sink, but no shower. And I find that can be a bit problematic as well. I just find lots of buyers, they want to have a full ensuite nowadays. And one thing I really dislike, and I would say it's usually homes from like 2005 to 2015, it was more common, where you could have a master ensuite bath, but there's no door separating the bedroom from the bathroom. It's just a wide open space. And I don't know if I'd like that. If you're like your husband or your wife is in the bathroom, you can just see everything from your bed. Like, it's just kind of odd to me. But this is very common in that age. I think I'd rather have like a full door separating the ensuite from the bedroom. That's just my preference. And more common in townhouses, when you have like a half bath on the main level or like in the main living area, and the half bath is so close to the actual kitchen, I just find it's kind of unusual to me. Like, you could be in the kitchen making dinner and you could hear someone in the bathroom that's right next to like the kitchen island. I just find that's kind of unusual, but it's very common in townhouses, especially in the newer ones where they're just kind of maximizing space. I don't care for that, and I've had many complaints from other buyers too that they felt the bathroom was just too close to the living area or to the kitchen. And the last point here, in finished basements, when there's no bathroom or bedroom, I find it kind of defeats the purpose of finishing the basement. It doesn't add all that much value. Sure, it adds some value, but not as much as having a living area, a bedroom, and a bathroom in the basement. Next section are kitchens, and a big one for me is not having a pantry. You'd be surprised how common this is, not just in condos and townhouses. I see single-family properties without pantries too, and I would never consider a property without a pantry. But I like to cook, I have all these spices, so that's important to me, but I find it's also important to most buyers out there, and not having a pantry can be a deal breaker, so be on the lookout for that. And I was just showing a property yesterday in Herein Woods, and in the kitchen, when you open the refrigerator door, it restricts cupboard space and it's hard to walk around it. And I find in terms of resale value, anything that's unusual or kind of limits the space, it can be difficult for resale value. And I felt that property, it was just so awkward to get around. When you open the fridge, you can't walk behind the person and you can't access a lot of the cupboard space. So it's just a bit unusual. I've actually had it quite a few times where people liked the property, but they didn't like how the kitchen island had the sinks. They would prefer it in a different location. And not a deal breaker for me, but I've had that quite often. And I've also had it where people want to have at least 2 sinks in the kitchen. So you can separate your dishes. I've seen it maybe in older condos where it's just one sink area, and that can be a bit of a deal breaker for some people. Or not having a dishwasher at all. I've seen that in older condos. Definitely that can be a challenge these days. Next up, we have living areas. And the first point here, I was showing a condo a few years back in Mission, and it was a nice building, but when you walk into the individual unit, it was all on these weird angles. And if it doesn't fit right to your eye, it'll be tough to sell down the road. I like rectangles and squares for layouts. If they're really weird, odd angles, like the living room is kind of off-centered, it just doesn't fit right to my eye. And you want to think about it down the road. If the market gets really bad, it's a buyer's market or a balanced market, can you still sell the property? Not like the last few years in Calgary where everything was selling and it was red hot. Think about a poor market. Even if it's priced well in a poor market, if it has a bad layout, you're still not going to sell most likely. So you have to think about the resale value down the road, like the worst case scenario. I personally don't like how the fireplace can be the center of the living room and the TV is above it. It kind of reminds me of sitting at the front row of a theater and just staring straight up like this. I find this is quite common in Calgary. Now this is just my preference, but I have heard it from quite a few buyers as well, where they don't like having the TV well above the fireplace. Next point, I find a lot of buyers, they don't like walking into the property and they're directly in the living room or the kitchen area. They want to have some kind of front entrance area. This is not just for condos and townhouses. I've seen single-family properties where you walk into the kitchen basically, and it's just a bit odd. So I think most buyers want to have some kind of front entrance area. Next point is you want to have a decent closet in a logical space. I've seen it in condos or townhouses where you're going up a flight of stairs first, you're going around a corner to access the closet. I just find that's kind of unusual, and this is a bigger point than many people might think. A lot of people out there have lots of shoes and clothes, and they want to have them out of sight, out of mind. And if there's no front closet or if it's an unusual spot, it can be a deal breaker for some buyers. Next point is laundry, and this can be a deal breaker for a lot of people. I find that people my parents' generation, like the baby boomers, they want to have laundry on the main level for a bungalow or upstairs for a 2-story property. And for the elderly, this is a big deal because they don't want to access laundry by going up and down a huge flight of stairs. So this can be very important. And for condos, I think it's very important these days to have in-suite laundry. There's plenty of old buildings in downtown Calgary where there's shared laundry, and that can be a difficult sell nowadays. Next point is excessive stairs. And I find this is quite common for townhouses in Calgary these days. The newer styles, they're all stackable townhouses. You walk in the front door and there's a huge staircase to the main level. There could be 2 more levels on top of that. So it's a very vertical style of living. And I don't care for that myself, and I find lots of other buyers, they don't care for that either. And I'll give you an example. If you're looking in Mackenzie Town, I find most of the townhouses there are your classical layout. You walk into the main level, then there's an upstairs. But if you go to the neighboring areas, which are a bit newer, like Copperfield, New Brighton, it's very common where you're walking into the property, there's a huge flight of stairs immediately. And I just find that's not quite as desirable these days, in my opinion. Next section, we have basements, and I've already covered this. I find basement developments that don't have bedrooms or bathrooms can be a bit of a waste. I find buyers want to have more use out of the basement. And the next point here, let's talk about legal basement suites, and I'll give you an example. I've got a buyer right now looking for a duplex with an unfinished basement, and their plan is to put in a legal basement suite. But the problem that we're coming across is the downstairs portion is on the side of the property neighboring the next door neighbor, not on the open side where it's easier to put in a separate entrance. So that's one thing to be mindful of if you are looking for a duplex. I also find a lot of buyers dislike when the mechanical room in the basement is directly in the middle. It makes it harder to develop it, and I think most buyers prefer the mechanical room to be out of the way in a corner somewhere. It just makes it a bit easier to develop it in the future, and I don't know why they do this. Maybe it's cheaper to put them directly in the middle, but that can be a bit problematic in terms of finishing the basement. Next section is exterior issues, and the first point here is not having a garage. This will definitely affect your resale value. Calgary gets lots of snow, we get hail, and having a garage is very important to most buyers. So if you don't have one, it can be a bit challenging. I've also come across townhouses with the front single attached garage, and sometimes they're actually too small. They won't actually fit a vehicle. So it defeats the purpose. Sure, it adds some storage space, but if it's so small that's not practical, that would be a red flag for me. And sloped backyards. As you can see, my kind of front yard area is sloped, and it can be a bit annoying when you're cutting grass and just a bit unusual. I think in the future I would prefer to have a flat lot. And I'm also in a corner lot, and I find it can be a bit annoying, especially when it comes to snow removal. Sure, there's more parking, but it can be a bit of a pain in the ass when it snows often. It could take like an hour to actually clear all the snow. So I just find it's kind of annoying. In the future, I don't know if I would consider a sloped lot or a corner lot. Now that's just my opinion, but I think a lot of buyers would feel the same when it comes to corner lots. Now there is a percentage of the population where they want the corner lot because it has a lot more parking, but it does come with a lot more lawn maintenance. And the last section is condos. And the first point here is not having enough storage space in a condo or a townhouse. And this is actually quite common. And if you think about it, if you don't have room for like suitcases, maybe golf equipment, hockey gear, and so on, it can be a bit challenging. I came across a townhouse about a month ago, and the buyer actually sent me a non-waiver. They wouldn't go through with it because after like a second thought, there wasn't any storage in the actual unit, so they backed out of it. So I think storage is a must. Some condos obviously have storage lockers, which is helpful, but you want to have enough to live reasonably well. No patio or balcony. Now you'd think that most condos would have a balcony, but I've come across quite a few without balconies, and I find it's almost a bit of a safety issue. I would say ground floor and below grade units are always a bit of a tough sell. Below grade, obviously it's very dark. I just find a lot of buyers don't want that. Very difficult to sell. Ground floor units, I think it depends where it's located. If you're in a very nice and peaceful area of the city, it wouldn't bother me too much. But if you have a ground floor condo in the Beltline or downtown, I've heard stories of homeless like knocking on the windows asking for bottles, and that would really annoy me. And in terms of resale value, I would say at least half, if not more, simply won't consider a ground floor unit, so that can be a bit challenging in terms of resale. This is just a personal preference, but I don't like in condos where the laundry room is actually in the kitchen. It's like part of the cupboard space. I just find this kind of unusual, but that's just my opinion. I would say condo units and balconies facing busy roads can be tough for resale. I can recall selling a condo in Lake Bonavista maybe 10 years ago, and it was facing McLeod Trail, and it was just non-stop traffic all the time, and that can be difficult in terms of resale. I would say buying a condo that doesn't have an elevator can be a bit of an issue. I think you would lose a good chunk of the buying pool without having an elevator, and this can be super annoying if you're carrying groceries up and down 4 flights of stairs. That would get old pretty quick. I would also say having a condo unit above the parkade entrance, you might get headlights into your unit, you would hear the garage going up and down all day long. That could get annoying too, and that could hurt your resale value. And the last point here, I find if it's a 2-bedroom condo, most buyers want to have some kind of separation between the 2 bedrooms versus sharing a wall. I find the best layouts have the 2 bedrooms on opposing walls, and there's some good distance between them. Not a deal breaker, but I find that in terms of resale, most buyers want to have some separation between the 2 bedrooms. Well, there you go. That's my take on some layout issues that I come across from showing thousands of properties in Calgary. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next video.